This is a photocopy. 0775.
This is a photocopy.
Any objection to the sureties or?
Of the legal team, and you know the genesis of this matter involving Eron Kiiza. You can't divorce it from what has been happening in the broader spectrum of all these matters we have been having in the general court martial. It's a continuation of the same. All these matters, you know, the Vice President, Uganda Law Society, even the issue of Semaka dates, all part of the whole thing, and we are going to be addressed by senior counsel here. You understand we are in the process of securing a new PC, and the council is going to sit tomorrow, and all those matters are going to be canvassed in this so that you get a picture of what we are really doing in terms of advancing this protracted legal battle. So senior counsel, up to you.
So firstly, our appearance today was in solidarity with Eron, because Eron was unfairly convicted, put in jail for no reason at all, just for representing Dr. Kiiza Besigye and Obed Lutale. We are very, very concerned. You heard him say, today is the 76th day since he was illegally detained, pursuant to the orders of the court-martial, which has been subsequently found by the Supreme Court to be unconstitutional. There is no reason why Eron Kiiza continues to be in custody. We really are very disappointed. We were hoping that we would come and walk out with him today. We will wait for the 4th. We are hopeful that the judge also, after reading those proceedings, will come to the same conclusion that Eron is being held unfairly, especially after acquainting himself with the proceedings of the Supreme Court. We were able to go to Chitalia yesterday in company of the Vice President of the Law Society, a team of lawyers from the East African Law Society, and we have the CEO of the East African Law Society right here with us. Yesterday we had the Secretary General, but he had to return to Arusha. We have a council member of the Law Society of Kenya, Gloria, out there. So the bar in East Africa is concerned that an advocate continues to be held in custody for no offense at all, but representing his client. We are very hopeful that bail will be given. Eron is in high spirits, but the judicial system, this is an indictment of the justice system in Uganda, that 76 days after pronouncement by the Supreme Court, and in spite of the various applications by Eron's counsels, he continues to be in custody. We were able also to see Dr. Kiiza Besigye and Obed Lutale at the Ruzira prison yesterday. They are also holding out there strong, and we are hopeful that their bail application, which comes on the 11th of April for ruling, will be granted. I just want to say this, that the Supreme Court of Uganda gave a beautiful landmark decision that found that the court-martial's trial of civilian is unconstitutional, that the people the court-martial put behind bars continue to languish in custody. It's not a very promising development. I am hopeful that the judiciary of Uganda will acquit itself by doing the right thing. It's also an indictment on the Attorney General's office to oppose bail in a case where the Supreme Court has already pronounced itself on the unconstitutionality of the process, is actually to perpetuate injustice. I hope that this will come to an end. And I want to also say, we are aware that the President of the Law Society has been condemned to jail. He's on a journey out of the country, I am informed. But he has not only been condemned to jail, but he has also other warrants pending. This assault on the bar needs to stop. Because now there is fear in the air. How are advocates going to practice? If the head of the bar can be under threat, every advocate in Uganda is under threat. Who will speak out for advocates? Who will speak out for Eron Kiiza? And at that stage, I hand over to the Vice President of the Law Society of Uganda and commend him for his appearance today, for his readiness to be a surety, and for showing solidarity with Eron and with others yesterday, Dr. Kiiza Besigye and Obed Lutale, because we visited all of them in his company and the company of the Secretary General of the East Africa Law Society, Council Member Gloria, Law Society of Kenya. So I end by saying again, the bar in East Africa is very, very concerned. And yes, I have applied for a special license to practice in Uganda. In the case of Dr. Kiiza Besigye, Obed Lutale, and if need be in the case of Eron Kiiza, my application is pending. I'm very hopeful. Otherwise, at the moment, I have no voice in court. I remain a hopeful observer.
Come to stand in solidarity with the Uganda Law Society amidst all that we are facing. Just to add a bit on her submission, which is very clear, we are hopeful that the court will expedite this matter. We shall have Eron Kiiza out of jail. We feel this is an attack on the members of the bar. When you see the president, like you've mentioned, is also having several warrants. We have courts issuing warrants. We have an order of court for his imprisonment. And this is being done by none other than the judiciary. This is the body we believe we should be working with as the bar. Now, what we are doing is calling upon the judiciary to remind them that as the bar, as the Uganda Law Society, we must work together with the judiciary. We cannot work separate from each other, and they need us as much as we need them. So we call upon the courts to expedite these matters where the members of the bar are being persecuted. We believe Eron's case is a case of persecution. There's no reason as to why Kiiza Eron should still be in jail up to now, even after the pronouncement of the Supreme Court. But we are seeing he's still in court, though we are hopeful that the honorable judge in this matter will deliver the justice that we desire. In as far as the president is concerned, I've always told the members the president is on official duty, but again we condemn with all the things we've been seeing. Today is Eron, today is the president of Uganda Law Society, the next day it will be another member of the bar, and before you know it, the whole of the society, all the members of the society cannot practice. This is setting a very bad precedent. So we call upon the judiciary to expedite. The president has, through his lawyers, filed appeals against these decisions. He's equally challenging the arrest warrant, which was also issued, we believe, erroneously. And what we are calling upon the appellate courts is to ensure that they expedite these matters and we have justice delivered so that we can all together ensure that there's rule of law in this country. Thank you very much. Eron Kiiza, kanso waffe, leero tubadde tujja okuwuliriza okusaba okumweyimirira oba okumuwa beyiro nga balinda ebinaava mu kujulira. Kooti etwadde olunaku nga nnyo Gwokuna ng'egenda kuwa ensalo oba banamuwa beyiro oba tebamuwa beyiro naye nti nga bwe mulidde Senior Counsel Martha Karua, tulina wano Lord Mayor, tulina wano aba East Africa Law Society ababadde naffe regular twabaddeko ekitalya ne tukyalira Eron ne twogera naye nti Eron akyali mwesimbu ate mugumu nnyo, naye ffe kyetusaba oba kyetusuubira nti kooti omulamuzi ajja kukola obwenkanya. Wayiseewo ennaku 76 bukyanga Eron ateekebwa mu kkomera, kyetumanyi nti ateekebwa mu bukyamu era kyetulowooza nti n'essaawa eno ali mu kkomera mu bukyamu, naye tulina essuubi nti kooti enkulu oba omulamuzi atudde mu nsonga eno ajja kulaba nti ekyo si kya bwenkanya, akole ekyetaagisa okulabika nti Eron aweebwa beyiro oba basobole okumukkiriza okumwemirira abeere wabweru. Ku nsonga ya President waffe wa Uganda Law Society, ekya Eron kiringa ekyokulabirako nti olwaleero Eron tuva ku Eron netulaba nga ate ne president akulira balooya bannamateeka oba Uganda Law Society nga naye ateekebwako emisango egy'enjawulo nti asibibwa okumala emyaka 2 mu kkomera ate ekyo kyokka ne balaba nga tekimala ate ne tulaba nga waliwo ebibalwa babiyita bibakuntumye restaurant ez'enjawulo nga nazo ziva mu kooti nti ate ne wabaawo ate n'ebiyitibwa nti n'ensi ez'ebweru oba neero gyali akwatibwa aleetebwe wano. Tulowooza nti kino kiraga tukivumirira kuba kiraga nti nga ekitongole oba bannamateeka kino kiba ng'ekiraga nti balwanyisibwa oba tetulina kwogera nti kasita ovaayo n'oyogera ku nsonga ezikwata ku bantu ku buzibu obuliwo bajja kusirisa. So n'olwekyo tusaba kooti awali we twatadde okujulira okw'enjawulo abalamuzi ba kooti baveeyo ensonga zino baziwulirize mangu batuwe ensala zaabwe tuleke nti embeera eno eriwo eggweewo kuba kirabikira ddala nti esiga eddamuzi lirwanyisa bannamateeka oba bapulira kuba oda zino ze mulaba ziva mu kooti abalamuzi bennyini betwandadde nga tukolagana nabo ate be beeyongera okulabika nti bateekawo embeera eno. So ffe tutaddewo tukivumirira era tubasaba baveeyo babeere beesimba okulabika nti balwanirira eddembe ly'obuntu nga tutandikira ku bannamateeka kuba otandikira ku looyo oba munnamateeka ate omuntu wa wansi atalina busobozi kiba kiraga nti ate yajja kuba talina asobola okumulwanirira. So ffe nga Uganda Law Society tusaba ne sekusaba nti ekitongole oba esiga eddamuzi oba n'abalamuzi abali mu nsonga zino ezikwata ku ddembe ly'abantu ne bano Eron Kiiza ne president waffe bateekemu obwangu okulabika nti ensonga ezo ziwulizibwa ne ziva mu kooti mu bwenkanya.
Kenya members, we are here to stand in solidarity with Eron Kiiza and also with Besigye, and we are here to say that we are here as observers, just seeing what is happening, and we are here to assure the bar in Uganda that we are standing strong with them, and we are seeing what is happening, and we are also taking accountability for what happened in Kenya and saying that what happened was wrong and it should not be happening, and we do want to stand and plead with the courts to stand with the rule of law. They know bail is a constitutional right, and we ask that they do follow the law in this case. Thank you.
By Senior Counsel Martha Karua to be walking out of this place with Eron today. We are very hopeful that on 4th, Eron will walk out because we feel that his continued holding isn't fair. And as lawyers, we are extremely concerned that this trend of holding members who are basically performing their duties of representing clients should not be allowed to continue. Because, for instance, Eron was doing his job as an advocate. And this trend that has been happening in Uganda, we have witnessed it elsewhere in East Africa. And we are saying, as the Regional Bar Association, we are going to stand with our members. We are going to ensure they are protected in the performance of their duties. And we are going to ensure that rule of law for East Africa is accessed. And we urge the Ugandan judiciary to expedite the process of releasing Eron and expedite the process of releasing all the other victims, if I may call them, that had been presented, or civilians that had been presented before the courts martial, given the ruling that came out saying their trial at the courts martial was illegal. We shall, if this does not happen, they are not released expeditiously, file a suit, and this will call it a class suit, class action, to defend all of them and ask that they be released. I also want to comment on abductions from other countries into other countries that we have noted are illegal. We represent the whole region, and we will not sit back and see people being illegally abducted from one country and presented in courts or otherwise held without being presented in court. I want finally to say that we are standing with the president of the Uganda Law Society. He is a member of the governing council of the East Africa Law Society, and so we are standing with him. We understand that several warrants of arrest have been issued against him, and we will, as a member of our leadership board, do everything possible to defend him. And we ask the courts in Uganda to lift the warrants and to allow him to lead the bar as he should. It is his duty that he is performing, and so we want to be very clear that he be let to do his duty, and where need be, we will stand with him. With that, thank you.
Kale Luganda lwoka katono nnyo ebisinga ayogedde mu Luganda. Tulina okwennyamira okw'amaanyi ennyo nti okuvanga ennaku z'omwezi 31 omwezi ogwa January Supreme Court lwe yakirambika bulungi nti General Court Martial efufululu terina buyinza kuwozesa ba civilian, tetunnafunayo civilian n'omu afuluma komera. Olwaleero we twogera kati giweze emyezi 2 tutambudde mu makooti, tufayirinza applications eza buli kika, tuzunze tuzze wano tuzze wali, tewannabaawo muntu yenna abenefitinga, musibe yenna abenefitinga mu judgment ya Supreme Court nti uno bamutadde afulumye ekitalya, afulumye eruzira oluvannyuma lwa Supreme Court okufulumya judgment eyayimiriza General Court Martial. Ekyo kitwennyamiza. Twali tulowooza nti Dr. Besigye yagenda okugulawo oluggi era ne tuteekayo bail application ye, mwagiraba kye baatugamba nti mulindeeko juzi kino era okumala ojuliza ne bagamba nti kale ruling yanga 11 oyo alinze 11. Olwaleero tubadde tulowooza nti ekigula luggi agenda okusooka okufuluma n'abalala bafulume ye Eron Kiiza. Era bwe tuzze olwaleero mulabye kino okumaliza nga bagamba nga nnya lwennyini lwe tuddayo ate era mu kooti Nakawa lwe baatugamba nti state eyagala okuwulira application ey'okusumulula amasimu ga Dr. Besigye n'Obedi Lutale basobole okugyamu obujulizi bwe baagala okukozesa. So mu bufunze tuli bennyamivu. Waliwo mu mateeka kye bagamba nti fruits of litigation must be enjoyed. You can't litigate in vain. Judgment eyo yali nkulu nnyo naye tennavaamu bibala. Ekyo kituluma. Judgment ya Supreme Court musango gwa kabaziguluka ya byafaayo mu history ya Uganda naye bibala byayo tetunnabiraba. Ekisooka Dr. Besigye bagambe ne Eron n'abalala tebannafuluma. Waliwo ate abalala bonga ne fayiro zaabwe tebannabazireeta mu kooti za bulijjo. Bangi bali eruzira, jo twabadde eruzira nga tugeze okulaba Dr. Besigye n'Obedi Lutale. Bangi abakyali mu upper prison nga muli Bobby Yanga n'abalala tebamanyi ddirwe bali baleetana mu kooti za bulijjo, fayiro zaabwe tebazireetanga. Bangi abali ne Eron Kiiza. Eron Kiiza oyo gwe mulaba ekitalya yafuuka looya w'abalala eri mu kkomera ekitalya gyali. Bali eyo bagamba Eron Kiiza tukoze tutya, bwe beebuuzaako nabo tebamanyi feeti yaabwe bali baleeta ddi mu kooti eza bulijjo. Waliyo abatayogera nako nabo katuboogereko bakalacuna abakalamojja abali mu 10 bali eyo babajjeeyo waabwe kalamojja babaleese babayiye ekitalya babataddewa bali mu General Court Martial kati cases zaabwe tezoogerebwako. So ensonga zino za bulabe tubadde tukyali awo ate ne bongerako abalala bakutte jati beekutte bano be bakubya bannamawulire bano ebikolobero nga bikyagenda mu maaso. Kakati tuli concerned kwe kulaba ttiimu eno ekulemberwa Martha Karua bana basi obulabye bana bavudde mu East Africa Law Society of Kenya mugiwulidde ne bannamateeka netugamba nti nedda tugenda kwongera mu jjiya endala era katulinde nga nnya ruling ya Eron Kiiza ne 11 ya Dr. Kiiza Besigye naye tusazeewo twongere mu jjiya endala okulaba nga wabaawo ekikolebwawo oluvannyuma lwa Supreme Court okusalawo wateekeddwa okubeerawo ekikyuka ne tulaba tewannabayirawo kikyuka. Embeera yeeyongera kubeera mbi yadde Supreme Court yasalawo nejjawo General Court Martial naye embeera yeeyongera kwonooneka. So twagala okwongera mu jjiya endala okulaba ng'embeera ebaako bwekyuka era gwe mulimu gwe tulafubana olunaku olw'enkya kansa egenda kutuula tusuubira mukama waffe Honorable Martha Karua bagenda muwa practicing certificate ye bwe bamala ogimuwa ate tuyingize jjiya nambeemu eyongeramu okulaba nti tufuna obwenkanya oluvannyuma lwa Supreme Court okufulumya judgment eyo y'ebyafaayo.
In view of the fact that all these is now on the court record. I will render this court's ruling on the 4th of